Hey, it's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear, and I've got something a little different from some of the other videos that I put out. Had a lot of handguns, some rifles, and we've only had one shotgun so far. It was a bullpup design, and so we're going to go kind of the other realm of the shotgun world, and we're going to look at the iconic Humpback, which you know, you see in some of the videos, you'll see the bird dogs in the background. Bird hunting is my favorite kind of hunting. Right, buddy? So I've got two designs here, and these are the Remington models. The Remington Model 11. This is actually a pre-Model 11. It's not, you know, stamped Model 11 anywhere on there. This is a fairly older one. This one was my grandfather's that I was lucky enough to get a hold of. Chambered in 12 gauge. The bluing's completely gone on it. You can see, you know, why they call them the Humpback is the little humpback here. These are also the same as the FN Model 5, and the Savage also made a copy of them. Here's another variation. This is a little bit of a newer one, and 12 gauge as well. This happened to have been my father's. They were big upland hunters. They loved hunting quail, and these were what they carried up until they got a little bit older and the weight got to them a little bit, and they kind of dropped down to 20 gauge instead of a 12 gauge. Now the Browning Auto 5 has a pretty interesting history to it. John Moses Browning, who, if you follow guns, is a legend or a god, depending on how you want to look at it in the gun world. He developed so many great firearms, and he came out with this design. He called it the Auto 5 because it held 5 cartridges, 4 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. Now he developed this, and back in the late 1800s, and the first thing he did is he went to Winchester, who he had been working with and had sold a few rifles to, and Winchester, I guess their last couple rifles, they had some issues working with them. They said he was hard to deal with, and so they said, no, we don't want to deal with you. You're a pain in the rear, go away. So John Browning went to Remington, talked to the president of Remington. There was some interest there, and the president of Remington died of a heart attack. So the next thing he did is he went to FN out of Belgium, and they picked it up, and so the Auto 5 was born. Now this was in I think it was 1901 was when Belgium first started producing them. I could be wrong on that date, but in 1905 the Remington Arms Company got the patent, and they started producing the Model 11. When they did, this was the first semi-auto shotgun produced in the United States of America. And these are very well made, very great shooting firearms, and in some variations from the Browning Arms Company, they are still made today. And there's a lot of nice ones out there, a lot of Savage, a lot of Brownings. But the Remington, a lot of people nowadays don't think about, but Remington made a very nice, very high quality variation or version of the Auto 5. Now this, like I said, this is an early model, and the only downside with this one is the safety on it. And as you can see where my finger is on the trigger, the safety is right in front of the trigger. So basically, to put the safety on, you pull this little lever back right up against the trigger, and it's unsafe. To take the safety off, then you push it back up. Back, you know, turn of the century, early 1900s, trigger discipline wasn't a big thing. And there were some other designs. There was actually, I don't remember what company made it, but there was a similar design to get around the patents. They actually had the firearm to where you would push down on the barrel in order to load it. And it became known as the Widowmaker. just because a lot of people ended up shooting themselves trying to cock their shotguns. And I can't think what the variation of that is. I'd have to look up the model and the company that made it. But, you know, beginning of the century, all this stuff was new, and we were all, you know, semi-auto. We were learning about all that. And this was like a game changer. And these have stood the test of time because these are still around. You still see these a lot. I still actually take these when I go bird hunting. This one in particular, because between the two of them, the recoil on this is a whole lot less than the recoil on this one. Granted, this one's a little fancier. It's still got some bluing on it. It's got a little engraving on it, but I don't know, something about this one, when you shoot it, it just feels right. I mean, the wood, it's had a lot of hands on it. It's been shot a lot. You find your target right away, and I've dropped a lot of quail, a lot of pheasant, a lot of chucker with this gun, and it's just a pleasure to shoot. And like I said, every time when I go out, if I go out on a hunt, I'll take about 4 or 5 shotguns with me just in case I have an issue with one. And a lot of times halfway through, I'll go back to the truck and I'll swap out and use a second one, sometimes a third one. And I've got some nice shotguns. I've got some Benellis, I've got some Berettas, I've got some Weatherbees, but this is one of the shotguns that I go back to over and over again. And I don't know if it's the nostalgia, if it's the fact this was my granddad's, but it's just a pleasure to shoot. And I'm right on whenever I shoot this. If I'm on a clay bird, if I'm on a real bird, when I pull that up, it drops pretty much every time. So really, really special to me. And the craftsmanship, it's just that old craftsmanship that, you know, sometimes it's hard to find nowadays. But that's a little bit about the Model 11 Remington, and I guess technically the pre-Model 11. So what we're going to do is, as always, we're going to head down to the range. We're going to put some shells in these, and we're going to do a little shooting. So come join us. All right, we made it down to the range. I've got, first we've got the pre-Model 11. This was my grandfather's shotgun. I've got 2 rounds in here. We've got our dual white wing. So let's pop some birds. That's the model, the pre-Model 11. Now I'm going to get the Model 11 out. Alright, now I've got my dad's, the Model 11. We're going to pop off a couple of birds with this.
Ready?
Oh. A little better with the pre-Model 11, but yeah, good guns. I mean, they're old. I think that first one is from the 20s or the 30s. I forgot what year it was from. This one's from the 50s, but good firearms. It's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear. If you enjoy the content, please consider giving this video a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. It helps the channel grow. You ever had one of these humpback designs? Which model did you have? Did you have the Browning, the Remington, the Stevens? What did you have? Tell me about it. What caliber did you have? I'd like to know. Leave it in the comments. Until next time, have a great day.